Welcome to the section of the show that we call the Bonehead of the Week. This week's edition of Bonehead of the Week. I'm alone this week because Gabe is out there having fun. He deserves to have a great weekend. He's having fun with some friends. They're celebrating for a wedding that's upcoming. He worked really hard on all the graphics for the hearing and for the show. He does a lot of hard work that you get to see, but you don't get to see the sausage being made. He works really hard here, so we appreciate Gabe. So go show Gabe some love over on Twitter. Go follow him at I am Gabe Sanchez. Give him some hearts, some likes, some fire, and tell him you missed him for the Bonehead of the Week. But here's our contestants this week. We have Kevin McCarthy, Steve Scalise, and Matt Gaetz. Oh, what a cast of characters. It usually ends up being a bunch of white dudes on these tiles that Gabe made. Gabe made these tiles. Even on his trip this weekend, he's still working. But here is our contestants for Bonehead of the Week. And you ask, Tony, why are these the Boneheads of the Week? Well, Kevin McCarthy was actually on the Bonehead of the Week for a separate reason. And if I'm going to pull it up here. Now, again, bear with me here, because normally what happens is I get Gabe to talk while I'm looking up things. And today it's just not what's going to happen. So you have to bear with me for a minute, but we're going to get through this. You remember the video of Kevin McCarthy pointing and yelling on the House floor the other day, yesterday, the day before. I don't remember. But here he is on, now this is an OAN clip, and I don't know if OAN's the only one that would play this shit. But here he is on OAN, and he's in his press conference. But listen to who he blames the insurrection on. This is fucking just boneheaded at its best. Let's listen.
You said both publicly and privately after January 6th that you thought Trump bore some responsibility for the attack. Do you still feel like he was in any way responsible for January 6th?
Look, I've answered that many times. I thought everybody in the country bared some responsibility based upon what has been going on, the riots on the streets, the others.
You said both publicly and privately after...
Everyone in America is responsible. Are you fucking shitting me? That's literally what this guy's going to say? Is that everyone in America is responsible? Well, that's enough to be on the Bonehead of the Week for me, really, honestly. Now, that's not the actual reason why we put him on Bonehead of the Week, but I think that's enough. And I think that's why you're going to see today Kevin McCarthy is our winner here on Bonehead of the Week. But that is enough for me. Now, here's the other thing about Kevin McCarthy is there was a video that I'm going to show here in a bit about Kevin McCarthy, and that Midas Touch had posted a clip of this. So we're going to watch here later why I think he actually won the Bonehead of the Week poll, why you voted for him. So we'll play that here in just a bit. But let's go back to our other winners, Matt Gaetz and Steve Scalise. Matt Gaetz, the reason why we put him on the Bonehead of the Week, and we played it yesterday because we kind of let you guys make the sausage yesterday for this Bonehead of the Week. Matt Gaetz is on here for the shit that he said about Jamie Raskin. Of course, you know, all these seditionists, Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Kevin McCarthy, the list goes on and on and on here, are absolutely freaking out about what's going to be said in the select hearing. They're terrified of it, absolutely terrified of it. So much so that these boneheads are saying crazy ass shit on the floor of the House. I mean, here they are. Here's Hooffoot Green sycophanting. Listen.
And why their due process rights are being so flagrantly and horrifically violated. And why their due process rights.
She's talking about the people who you seen in the video just minutes ago. Just minutes ago, you've seen these people in these videos. Absolutely tearing apart. Of course, they're getting due process. That's why they're sitting in detention, dummy. Is because there's evidence against them and they're being charged with crimes. It's not fucking rocket science. It really is not hard to understand why these people are sitting in detention. It really is fucking just Looney Tunes. that we have to sit and listen to this nonsense. And I want to play another clip of Matt Gaetz's favorite person, because that's in the clip of Matt Gaetz talking about Jamie Raskin's son committing suicide. He's on Marjorie Taylor Greene's show, is what's happening. And the gross thing about the whole deal is they're sitting there yucking it up about Jamie Raskin shouldn't be in Congress because his child had committed suicide. Just vile, gross shit. And then she goes on the floor of the House to say this.
And most of all, I want to finish with this. There is something terrible happening in this process, and it's called defamation of character. The 45th president of the United States' character is being defamed, and all of his staff and his family and all Republicans, everyone's reputation is being defamed as lies are being told about all of us and President Trump just for politics. And it makes
all of us? What the fuck does that mean? Think about her mindset here. She's saying what is happening is defamation. Now, this is of Trump and his family. Now, whether she knew that Ivanka Trump was her testimony was gonna be fucking played last night or not, I don't know. I don't know if she knew that or not. I don't know if she knew what Ivanka Trump said in her testimony, but it's under oath, you fucking dummy. You're a fucking idiot, Marjorie Taylor Greene, if you think that Ivanka Trump went and said, yes, I agree with Bill Barr when he says that the big lie is a bunch of bullshit. That the big lie that Donald Trump told and that Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, Mike Lindell, Steve Bannon, and the likes perpetuated to create a violent insurrection on the Capitol on the day of January 6th. If you think that her going under oath and giving her opinion about the big lie that it's all a bunch of horse shit is defamation, you are a dumb motherfucker. Of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene is that.
It makes me sick. It absolutely disgusts me. If we're supposed to represent the American people and we're supposed to do a good job and uphold this place with honor and keep its reputation.
Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is fucking laughable. This is fucking hilarious. This is why you can't parody these people hardly. You can't make satire of this. How can you make satire of this? Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about honor. Are you fucking shitting me? Get the fuck out of here with this shit.
Good for the people we serve, then we should be truthful. But what's about to happen tonight is not going to be truthful. It's going to be a political narrative, and it's all for politics, and it is sickening.
Yeah, okay. It is all for politics, dummy. And I said tonight is going to be good, folks. Don't miss the coverage. Because it's the truth. It is all for politics. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly all for politics, and it should be. We should play politics with this, folks. That's what the whole fucking January 6th Select Committee is for. Benny Thompson said it in the beginning that they wanted this. They wanted a political fucking body. They wanted a political investigation. The Republicans had a chance for a nonpartisan, non-bias to Congress 9/11 style commission, and they said no. And the reason why they said no is because they wanted to play politics with January 6th and the results of the evidence of January 6th. They wanted to play politics. They felt like that was probably the only survival mechanism that they had, was to play politics. So yeah, it is politics, and we should play politics. And here's Matt Gaetz in this video of him. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's fucking gross. It's really fucking gross. These two fucking sick sons of bitches sitting here talking about Jamie Raskin's child committing suicide, and somehow that should impede him on doing his job. You dirty, vile, sick, gross motherfuckers.
What I worry about with Raskin, in all seriousness,
in all seriousness, you are not a fucking serious person, and no one takes you seriously.
Associate a lot
Mr.
of the other things
Venmo
around that trauma
piece
with
of
it, even
fucking
if they
shit.
don't naturally or even rationally associate.
Maybe so.
And what I
maybe so. I'm not even. I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm not even going to go forward anymore with that fucking garbage. Fuck them. Pieces of fucking absolute trash. Trash they are. Well, what are you going to do? Let's see. Let's move on. Who else we got? Oh, Steve Scalise. Steve Scalise. You watched him talk about how airplanes banned. We didn't ban airplane. Maybe we should ban airplanes after 9/11. Maybe we should regulate. What a fucking idiot. You guys remember this clip? Do you remember this? Of Steve Scalise? Let me see if I can find it here. Again, normally, my co-host Gabe Sanchez is talking while I'm looking. Here it is. Looking for clips. Actually, Gabe had a tweet here about it. Let's pull up Gabe's tweet here. He said it was a conversation about connecting the dots, how we can try to figure out if there's signs we can see to stop the next attack from happening. And he's talking about gun violence, right? And he's trying to compare it to the 9/11 attack. Steve Scalise is a victim of gun violence, and he still runs through the point. Like, he runs straight through it here. Now, let's watch here. Let's pull this up here. Here he is talking about banning airplanes after 9/11. He doesn't get it.
That were creating those attacks. And airplanes were used that day as the weapon to kill thousands of people and to inflict terror on our country.
Okay, number one, and we mentioned this the other day. Number one, you fucking idiot. Airplanes, like, airplane manufacturers don't fucking build airplanes to kill people. Okay, number one. Number fucking one, Scalise, you dumb son of a bitch. Have you ever went to a baseball field and just had airplanes shot at you, Steve Scalise? You stupid bastard. This is a fucking guy who is a victim of gun violence. The son of a bitch almost died. And he's still in the pocket of the NRA. The NRA paid him to come out and say this shit into a microphone. I said it. The NRA paid this motherfucker to say this vile shit. Steve Scalise did not have airplanes hurtled at him in a baseball field. That's not what happened. He was shot by a gun. But listen to what he says about regulating airplanes. Even though airplanes aren't designed to kill people, they're actually designed to keep people safe. Like, they actually build airplanes, engineer airplanes. They have federal regulations on airplanes that we put in place. We, the people, vote for elected officials who make sure that the fucking airplanes that we ride on are fucking regulated so they're safe for humans and don't kill us. You stupid fuck.
There wasn't a conversation about banning airplanes. There was a conversation about connecting the dots. How can we try to figure out if there are signs we can see to stop the next attack from happening?
Oh my God. Yeah, there was a conversation about it. Yep, exactly. No one is saying, there's not one fucking public official that I can find. And I don't even know that there's one person that you would talk to in this country that would believe that gun manufacturers are going to stop manufacturing guns, right? And we're going to ban all guns. I don't think there's one person that believes. There may be some people that want to do that, but even the people who want to do that probably believe that won't happen. In our country, it's hard to imagine that there would be no guns. There's more guns than there are people right now. So it's hard to believe that would ever be a future that would come to fruition. And anyone, even people who want that, probably wouldn't believe it if you told them that. Because the evidence is stacked against you. But he says, we tried to figure out a way to make sure that this wouldn't happen again. Yeah, you dumb motherfucker. Yeah. We put all kinds of regulations in place to make sure that a person can't use a fucking plane to kill thousands of people. Think about that, because they always blame it on the person. It's not the gun, it's the person. Well, if it's not the plane and it's the person, we sure as hell put a hell of a lot of regulations to make sure we know who the fuck is on an airplane so that they can't use it as a weapon to kill a bunch of innocent people. You dumb son of a bitch. Pluck your head out of your ass, Steve Scalise, and understand what you're saying. What you're saying here, you're running straight through the point. is, yes, most Americans realize that we're not going to be able to fucking stop the gun manufacturers from manufacturing guns, and we won't be able to ban all firearms. Most Americans, probably 99.9%, would agree with that fact, whether you like it or not. I mean, shit, we pretty much we pretty much did away with smoking in this country, but we didn't ban the manufacturers from fucking getting cigarettes, did we? No, or from manufacturing cigarettes, did we? No. And cigarettes killed hundreds of thousands of people. We just made it to where they couldn't advertise in certain ways. They couldn't attract certain audiences, you know, like young children to start smoking, or 18-year-old, crazy-ass 18-year-olds to go buy guns on a credit card to go slaughter 19 children at a school. This is really fucking dumb, stupid shit that he is talking about here, because he's actually making the argument. This is more of this projection-ass shit. Let's listen.
And some people might have thought that wasn't possible. And yet, because Congress came together and focused on the root cause of the problem, thank God we have been able to stop other attacks on our homeland. And
ran more into the point by admitting that, yes, you got to get to the root of the problem, which the problem that we're talking about here, Steve Scalise, is the fucking gun. It's the gun. It's the gun. It's the gun, you dumb sons of bitches. It is the gun. So thank you to our co-host, Gabe Sanchez, for posting that video, so I had it up and ready. We also have some dishonorable mention in Alpha Cucks. You guys know here on the Bonehead of the Week, we always have a problem. Here's the problem that we have with Bonehead of the Week. We fill in the Bonehead of the Week, these three people, and then at the last minute, there emerges more boneheads. More boneheads appear. And there was a lot of boneheads. There was Jack Del Rio this week. There was Tucker Carlson. There was Marjorie Taylor Greene. There was Marco Rubio. But the Alpha Cuck of the Week went to Mr. Sean Hannity. And I believe the reason why we agreed to have Sean Hannity as the Alpha Cuck of the Week is because of Marco Rubio on his show. But actually, you know what? Let's see here. Let's go back here. I think I have Gabe Sanchez. Holy moly, you actually did join me for Bonehead of the Week.
I joined you. I told you I'd be here. I had to climb
Where
to get
the hell are you at? You're not in some bunker somewhere. Are you? Did you?
No.
Did you flee to some mountaintop away from?
I had to, for my own safety, I had to go to undisclosed location.
Are you camping or what? What the hell is going on out there?
Look, I can't give you details. Just know that I'm safe where I am. And, just want to let everyone know, thank you so much for tuning in last night. I can't tell you how grateful Tony and I am for the people who stayed through and watched the defending of democracy happen. And a big thank you to the Meiselas brothers and Midas Touch and all of our pundits that came on and gave their expertise and what they had to say about the hearings and everything that had to happen. Super grateful and thankful for everyone that listened, that came in, that chatted. Thank you so much. But yeah, I figured I would jump in during Bonehead of the Week. I mean, I can't not, I can't break the thing that we have going on here on Friday. I'm blanking on what I'm trying to say, but
I know. Well, see, here's the thing.
I'm headed up here. I'm at higher altitude.
All right. Well, the scenery is much better there than in your grandma's basement. I don't know if people know this, but that room that Gabe, look at the view here. Here, let me put it on the full screen. Look at this. Look at this view that Gabe Sanchez has. Oh my God. Everyone be jealous of Gabe Sanchez here on the Bonehead of the Week. We should have made Gabe the Bonehead of the Week because he didn't invite us all to come where he's at. Gabe, I want to tell you real quick why we have you, because I don't know how long we have you, but I want to thank you. You were thanking everyone else, but you did such a great job with all the design, all the effort that you put in. There's so much stuff in the background that no one saw, with all the spreadsheets and all the documents that we created to make sure that the show went off. All the links that we had, all the chats that we had going on during the last several weeks to get this production off the ground. And you did a great job. And I don't know if people know this, but you were kind of at a bachelor party last night. And, they didn't really see the strippers in the background, but, we kind of maybe, maybe next time we'll get a
next time. But in the background, I mean, I was tuckered away in a corner and everyone else was outside kind of, having beers and drinking. Meanwhile, I was like, got to stay focused, got to watch what's going on here, So I'm super grateful that we were able to pull that off, what we did. And again, so thankful for everyone who came in and chatted with us and shared what we were doing in the hearing. So I'm super excited for Monday. We got a second hearing that'll happen during the morning during our normally scheduled show. So I'm very pumped about that one.
Yeah, you're going to be up early in the morning for that one.
Very
early.
Yeah. It's still, I mean, it's our normal time, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it starts a couple hours earlier than we start, and then it's going to continue on into our show.
Right.
So I'm not sure exactly how we're going to do it. We'll figure that out probably on the fly. Yeah. Speaking on the fly, you were even creating art yesterday while the hearing was happening. You were having a nice beer and trying to get the graphics for a couple things that we didn't expect.
Right. Yeah. I didn't, we did not have the stuff ready for Nick, the documentary filmmaker, and also Caroline Edwards, the Capitol Police officer. But we got it, and we had their nameplates ready to go so that everyone knew who was actually giving their witness testimony. It's 7 my time.
Yeah, 7 your time, man. MJ's pointing out that MJ says no, it's 7 a.m. your time. Oops. Sorry, Gabe.
Guess I'm getting up earlier than that.
Yeah, well, it happens. It happens. Early to rise.
Yeah, early to, just got rise and grind. But this is what we do. But, Tony and I.
This is it.
And we are in.
I was just going through Sean Hannity. Can you stick around real quick? Because I want to show this video.
Yeah.
Just a couple seconds here. I want to show this video of Marco Rubio, and I want to get your reaction to what he says about the production, since we're talking about production anyways. Let's listen to this.
Well, if this was a real congressional hearing and not a kangaroo court and not a circus and not a made-for-TV production and an infomercial for their political purposes, those are the questions they would be asking. That's exactly what they would be asking. It would be a review of why didn't Capitol Police, why didn't the Sergeant at Arms take advantage of these resources that were available? That's what you would be focused on. But they're not going to be focused on that. This is they moved this thing to prime time. They hired a producer to put it on. This is not a fact-finding mission. This is a 2-hour free documentary sponsored by virtually every major network in America except for this one that's willing to give it airtime. The only good thing about it is most Americans aren't going to watch this garbage. People already know what happened.
Last night we seen that the producer was just to make sure it all went off, right? Just like we were doing last night with our production with all the guests that we had for the commentary. We were just making sure that everything worked and everyone was there. The mics were working. The film was up when it needed to be up. And I made a few mistakes. You noticed them. Some didn't, but you noticed them because you pay attention to details. But Sean Hannity last night apparently did not even go to commercial is what I'm hearing. He didn't even go to commercial because he didn't want to lose his audience to people who might go hear the truth. And Marco Rubio here, he could have been one of our boneheads and certainly the Alpha Cuck or the DM. But he talks about the production, but I find it funny that he's on the show, right? He's on Sean Hannity's show. And last night during the hearing, he's like, oh, this is all a documentary. It's all made up. It's all bullshit. No one's going to watch this trash. Sean Hannity was a key piece of evidence in the fucking hearing where they talk about him and Kayleigh McEnany talking about how do we convince Donald Trump just to go away. It's hilarious. Hilarious.
It is hilarious. I mean, we had already, and the last thing I'll say before I go is we had already seen Liz Cheney read out the text messages from those Fox News correspondents to Mark Meadows. And now she's like, yeah, I've got thousands here that I can even do. And let's play one from Sean Hannity to Kayleigh McEnany and really show how even more people inside the administration were having communication with people who were the correspondents at Fox. Seems weird that they should have that type of kind of direct line or insight or say or influence on how it's handled. But I think it's funny by the fact that Sean Hannity, again, he didn't want to lose anyone. And we joked about it. Like, what would happen if he was playing, if they ever even played the hearing?
Right.
And this would have happened. It would have been Sean Hannity hearing his name and seeing the text messages, the literal receipts put on screen, and then he'd be like, "Oh, let's go to commercial." That would have been the only time he would want to go to commercial.
Right, and here it is. Here it is. He says in the text message to Kayleigh McEnany, the number one thing to try to stop no more crazy people, he says, is no more stolen election talk. In other words, he's admitting, Gabe, that it's all bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit.
And Marco Rubio, who says it's all a sham and a fake in a kangaroo court, I highly doubt that any of the depositions they played last night from people like Ivanka Trump, Bill Barr, Miller, like these are people who are under oath and have to give testimony or their deposition. So I wouldn't say that it's all false because it's 100% true, unless, of course, those people want to be, caught in a lie.
Right. Yeah. But they commit perjury. They commit perjury.
Exactly. So anyway, I just wanted to come on here and say thank you.
Get back to setting up your campsite for your camping up there so that you can stay away from all the trouble that you've caused in the last few weeks with your production. And thank you again for all the production that you put in for the hearing. And we'll see you soon, my friend. Don't have too much fun have fun. Just you know what? Have a lot of fun.
I'll be ready to go have my Sunday night sleep to get early as I was just pointing out. It's 7 my time.
Yes.
So,
well, and don't do anything that Donald Trump would do. Well, you know what? Do a lot of stuff that Donald Trump Jr. would do. Do what Don Jr. would do this weekend, Gabe. Do it. Thanks a lot, my friend. You have a good one. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much. Holy moly, we had Gabe Sanchez join us from the mountaintop. Up all the way from the mountaintop. Thank you, Gabe, for joining us. I was hoping he could cut in and have a good view from where he was at. He sent me a couple pictures earlier, and I was hoping he'd cut in. Here's these text messages that we were talking about earlier from Kayleigh McEnany and Sean Hannity, because he's our alpha cuck of the week. I want to point out a few more things here. And the reason why is because Kayleigh McEnany's response. Now, remember, Kayleigh McEnany is the one who was lying out in the public as the press secretary. When he said no more crazy people to her, she said, yes, 100%. It's hard to see here, but yes, 100%, she says. And then he says, no more election talk or no more stolen election talk. She says, I love that. Thank you. This is our playbook. Now, it's not the playbook to win the election, right? She's not saying here, this is the playbook to win the election and steal the election and have an insurrection. That's the playbook to happen on January 6th. This is after January 6th. This is when he went out on the lawn and said, I love you people. You people are so nice and so great, and we love you, but go home. Remember the video. And I think we're going to have a few different versions of that video in these hearings. But this is after that, when this guy was delusional, when they were talking about the 25th Amendment. I mean, even in these texts, look here. Look in these texts. It says, yes, impeachment and 25th Amendment is real. In other words, yes, people are talking about 25thing him. Yes, we need to get him to believe that people are talking about 25thing his ass. That is the thing that we need to do to convince him to shut the fuck up and go away, because that's what they were trying to do, because they knew it was all lie. They knew it was all bullshit. They knew it had gone too far, and that they did not want him fucking touching anything. They didn't want him to be alone with government. He would grab it by the pussy is what they were scared of. So that's why Sean Hannity, he's our alpha cuck, because not only was he cucking for Trump, but then he was cucking to get him to shut up. And then last night, he couldn't even air it. Wouldn't even air it. What a fucking bitch. Speaking of bitches, you heard last night also that a Representative Scott Perry was one of the representatives that was seeking a pardon, apparently. Liz Cheney talks about it in the hearing. Let me see if I can pull the video up where she talks about Scott Perry and the members of Congress. And I think this is very significant. And the reason why I believe this is so significant is because she says that they were lined up for pardons. Like this is some shit that needs to be outed. And then I said it earlier on in the episode. I think that whatever that list is of people who are seeking pardons, I believe that list of people who were seeking pardons is the expulsion list, right? I mean, why would you seek a pardon if not to circumvent any crimes you've already committed that you know you've committed? And here's Liz Cheney last night talking about Scott Perry and trying to get pardons.
As you will see, Representative Perry contacted the White House in the weeks after January 6th to seek a presidential pardon. Multiple other Republican congressmen also sought presidential pardons for their roles in attempting to overturn the 2020 election. As you will see, Representative Perry contacted the White House in the weeks after January 6th to seek a presidential pardon.
Yep. Play it over and over and over and over again, folks. Do not let up on this. This is super important that we definitely hear that over and over again. And that's why Scott Perry, and maybe we should have like a whole list of dishonorable mention, and maybe, just maybe, in these hearings, we will find out that list of dishonorable mentions that will make their way to evidence inside the committee about who was the members of Congress that were seeking pardons. That's what I want to know. Not just Scott Perry here, but the other members of Congress. So that's why he was our dishonorable mention this week. But I want to go to the winner. The winner is Kevin McCarthy for Bonehead of the Week. Not just for his little tirade that he had on the floor the other day, losing his fucking mind, but more about the evidence that they provided last night. And Liz Cheney, Darth Vader Jr., you guys know that I'm not a fan necessarily of Liz Cheney. What I mean by that is I actually don't think she's this person who is 100% for democracy. And here's why. She's not voting. She didn't vote for voting rights. She doesn't want women to have bodily autonomy in this country. She's not for your liberty. But the enemy of your enemy sometimes can be your friend. And right now, Liz Cheney's goal is to destroy Trumpism and to destroy the big lie, because I believe that Liz Cheney knows deep down inside her black heart, her cold black heart, if she has a heart, I don't know, maybe her father gave her what was remaining of his. Inside her cold black heart, I don't know, maybe, just maybe, Liz Cheney knows that if Trumpism survives in her party is done. And she wants to be the leader of her party. She wants to regain her party, the party of Darth Vader, of Dick Cheney, her father, because she is Darth Vader Jr. But last night, boy, let me tell you something. And Texas Paul said it last night on the remainder, the after show of the commentary of the hearing. Texas Paul said that she was going to napalm Kevin McCarthy. And here is a preview of how she absolutely destroys him.
You will hear that leaders on Capitol Hill begged the president for help, including Republican leader McCarthy, who was, quote, scared.
Who was, quote, scared. No fucks to give with Liz Cheney on Kevin McCarthy. She has no fucking sympathy for that son of a bitch, who at first was scared and who said, yes, we need to stop this shit. He even went on air on TV live saying we need to stop this shit, that he had contacted the president to stop this shit. And Liz Cheney saying he's scared, and he turned even on her when she said the truth.
And called multiple members of President Trump's family after he could not persuade the president himself. Not only did President Trump refuse to tell the mob to leave the Capitol, he placed no call to any element of the United States government to instruct that the Capitol be defended. He did not call his Secretary of Defense on January 6th. He did not talk to his Attorney General. He did not talk to the Department of Homeland Security. President Trump gave no order to deploy the National Guard that day.
So there you have it. There is the reason why Kevin McCarthy is the bonehead of the week. So everybody, let's give Kevin McCarthy his due. You voted for him. We break it down. And let's give Kevin McCarthy his due here. Kevin McCarthy, the Bonehead of the Week. Thanks for joining us for Bonehead of the Week. I appreciate it, and I'm glad that Gabe Sanchez did not break the streak, and he joined us for Bonehead of the Week. Again, go give him some love. Go follow Gabe on Twitter at I am Gabe Sanchez. Give him some love about the campsite that he's got. But follow us at Tony Michaels Pod, where you can vote for Bonehead of the Week every single week on Thursday, usually Thursday evening. You can also vote on YouTube, so don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel at Tony Michaels Pod. Follow us on YouTube and Twitter and vote every single week for Bonehead of the Week.